Hi, I'm Dave, and I know wrestling. Do you want a wrestler that's 7 feet tall? Do you want a wrestler that's 7 feet tall? And do you want a wrestler who's alright, we get it, enough already? Then allow me to introduce to you my client for Dave Knows Wrestling's honest promos, Colin Cassady, William Morrissey, or Big Cass. There's only one word to describe you. Fired. Behold, a wrestler who apparently you can't teach or something like that. Because while he and his partner, and I don't mean Carmella, have made every attempt to make sure you don't forget his height, maybe more focus should have gone towards learning rather than what you can't teach. As was made perfectly clear by Big Cass himself from all of his boringly long promos about his height, Cass has about all the mic skills of a wooden robot made by an Amish librarian on Ambien. I mean, Jericho gave him gold with that sitting on his lap line, and he barely managed to coast his way through that. Kevin Owens was funnier in that exchange, and he didn't even have to say anything. Maybe that's why he was paired up with his longtime friend Enzo Amore, who may or may not be his friend anymore, according to some sources. Although, now that they're both on the indie scene, I'm sure they'll be best buddies again in no time. Consensual penis. Although there being a demand to see them back together as a tag team really is odd since they had never won the hand-slapping, partner-exchanging leather straps with metal plates on them in NXT or the main roster. Who knew back in NXT that the huge guy would be the only one out of the three of them to never win gold after being called up? Also, who knew that Ellsworth would still be with Carmella even after Morrissey? Well, okay, he may not have gotten gold, but at least he's good in the ring, right? Look, it's not his fault. It's hard to wrestle when you're so big. Morrissey was stuck suffering the same fate as most large men in the WWE. He either has to do a big boot or enter the ring by putting his leg over the top rope, or he has to use Big as his first name, or all of the above. However, when compared to other big men like The Big Show, Big E, or Braun Strowman, we can see that Morrissey is sadly closer to the Great Khali side of the line more than anything else. Although he can apparently beat up a bathroom door on a bus something awful. And what's really strange is that while his moveset isn't very expansive, there was that one time when he was told to do only one move and he couldn't even get that right. But that's not the only inconsistency with Morrissey, because he somehow managed to alienate people in a company with his political views, despite the fact that the company is owned by people who are on the same side as him. I mean, the roster knows who Linda McMahon is currently working for, right? In the end, if you want a wrestler who's WWE's own rebooted version of Test, a wrestler whose hair always manages to stay wet despite him being closer to the sun than everybody else, and a wrestler who looks like a total goofball when he struts around with his fist up in the air, then allow me to introduce to you my client for Dave Knows Wrestling's honest promos, the even unfunnier King of Queens, the Empire that won't strike back, and bada boom, the realest guy on the unemployment line, Big Cass, or William Morrissey. I know, he just lost his job. I shouldn't pull a Leo Rush by kicking someone when they're down. But maybe if Big Cass didn't kick a man while he's down, he might still have a job himself. Ha!